Soy Dora. We're having a big friendship fiesta today, and you're invited. Let's get ready for the party. Vámonos!
Nick Jr. Party Adventure is a charming and colorful puzzle platform adventure game that clearly is aimed at a very young demographic, not just with its visuals and the IPs that are included here, but also with its simplistic gameplay. At the very beginning of the game, you'll first be greeted by Dora, and then you'll create your own avatar. You have a handful of different customization options to create your avatar to play as in the game, and then you'll be whisked away on your first adventure. There's 6 total worlds here, with each one having a different theme, like Dora the Explorer, Paw Patrol, Blue's Clues, and a few others. The main goal of each of the 6 worlds is to collect your friends to have one grand party. Each level also has 3 different collectibles on it, which earning these will unlock different cosmetic options like backpacks, new shirts, glasses, hats, things like that to further customize your avatar. In each world, there are 12 total levels, but you only need to complete the first 6 in order to progress to the next world. Each world starts out pretty simplistic, where you'll only have one character to play as, but before you know it, you'll have 2, and then 3, and then 4, and the main gameplay is on rails. At all times, you will see in the bottom left corner the main things that you will be manipulating in order to progress to the exit. Each of the levels plays like a diorama, and they're very simplistic in nature. It's also possible to customize your speed that you play by holding the left bumper to slow down or the right bumper to go up to 2 times speed. You'll see most of the gameplay here is at the ×2 speed because, hey, I am an adult and this is a young child's game, so it might be too fast for one of your children. Each of the 6 worlds has its own gimmicks, I guess we'll say, which are the things that you'll manipulate. There's also a co-op mode in this, but you can only play certain levels 2-player local co-op, and it felt like a bit of a missed opportunity because I didn't really care for how it handled. Basically, what it does is if there's 2 different things that you can manipulate with 2 different buttons, all it does is separate them. So player 1 still controls the speed and one of those, and then player 2 controls the other. I think it would have been better if you took turns since there are 4 total, and you can only play co-op on levels that have at least 2 different objects for you to manipulate, so I don't really think this would be a fun one for kids to play co-op. If anything, I can almost foresee this being one where they argue if one of them is making a mistake and the other one's doing their part right, but I can't say for sure, I don't have kids. After completing the first 6 levels in each of the worlds, you can return to them and play the remaining 6. They felt more like bonus levels and were slightly more difficult, but these levels were where I felt like the gameplay is a bit mundane and tedious because you need to play through each of these 6 remaining levels with all 4 of the characters. In this part of Nick Jr. Party Adventure, it was pretty repetitive to me, so I would imagine it would probably be so for kids as well, because you have to go through each level 4 separate times because you have all 4 characters that need to get from the start to the finish. Sometimes you can take shortcuts since you can alter the path that the character is moving on, but most of the time these felt repetitive. The only real reward is more cosmetics to customize your avatar. The only other thing that I really didn't care for about the game, other than the extra levels being a bit mundane, is the voice acting is a little bit inconsistent. Most of it's really well voiced, but the quality of some of the voiceovers for some of the characters is a little bit spotty. It's inconsistent, sometimes the audio peaks a little bit or sounds a tiny bit distorted. I don't know that kids will notice that, but it is something that I had noticed.
Hooray! That was the last one! Let's get ready to party!
Nick Jr. Party Adventure is clearly aimed at a very young demographic. And I think what they nail in that regard is that This would be very fun for a really young child. It's simplistic and colorful, it's pretty charming, it's fun to customize your little avatar with the new things you unlock, and it holds your hand throughout the majority of the adventure, and it's not at all frustrating. Even if you make a mistake, it simply picks you up in a little bubble and resets you pretty close to where you made the mistake, and then you just try again. For kids of a younger age, I think Nick Jr. Party Adventure will be a lot of fun for them, but I don't think this is one of those kids games that's still enjoyable for adults or older children because it is really, really simplistic. I still managed to have a little bit of fun with it, but I'm not even entirely sure that this would be a fun game for parents to play with their kids either, since the way co-op is handled isn't really proper co-op, I guess. So if you're looking at Nick Jr. Party Adventure for a really young child, I would say under the age of 10, I think this is a good choice of game. You typically only have to use a few different buttons. You can speed it up or slow it down depending on your preferences. It has a really good amount of variety in its level designs and the different mechanics that it introduces, and it makes great use of children's IP. So I would recommend it for parents looking for a game for their younger children, but I don't think that this will be a good one for you to play with your children. It took me a few hours, probably about 3 hours or so, to play through it. I played through some of the extra levels, but not all of them. And again, it's mainly bonus content for extra cosmetics. So that's about what you could probably expect, is that 3 to 4 hour range to play through this. A little bit longer if you go for the full completion. Hope you found this review helpful. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But until next time, have a good one.
We're doing